So you meet Puffy at Howard, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
1987, Howard.
Wow. And you end up going to Uptown to be an intern, right?
No, he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He went to Uptown to be an intern. I got a record deal with a group called Two Kings and a Cypher.
That's right. Okay.
So I got a record deal, rapping, me and Ron Lawrence, and Puffy was an intern at Uptown.
And then in 1993, he ends up getting fired by Andre Harrell, right? And then at that time, do you remember like his reaction to that?
Now, I wasn't around him then. I was still living in D.C. because we had just got dropped the same year from our label. So I wasn't around Puffy from 90 to 93 because he moved to New York then, and I lived in D.C., and I was part of a group. So we were traveling the country and touring, and then we were working on our second album. I saw him. You know, we saw each other back and forth when we were in New York, and he'd come back to D.C., but I wasn't around him for those moments.
Gotcha. Okay. And what is your reaction when you guys get dropped?
Oh, I'm sad because I got to go back and live with my mother in the basement. You know, you go from being a grown man, being on your own, to having $20, and now I got to go live in my mother's basement. So it was crazy. Then I worked in a bookstore. So I'm working in the bookstore, collecting money at the cash register. Yo, ain't you that guy that was on Video Music? Yeah, whatever. $11.99. Come on, get up out of here. Come on.
Damn. So you got that kind of reaction. And so it was definitely humbling, kind of depressing of an experience, right?
Absolutely humbling. Absolutely humbling. But, you know, stayed the course, though. Knew what I wanted to do. So it was just a matter of when the opportunity came, when my numbers called, what was I going to do? That's all.
So the group ends up breaking up at that time?
We got dropped. Me and Ron never broke up. We were always boys. So yeah, but because we got dropped, and then I decided to move home to Queens, and he decided to fly to LA and work with a group that was out of Howard as well called Shy. They were R&B group.
Oh yeah.
And they went to school with us. And they were, you know, so they lived in LA. So Ron went out there 93, 94, 95 around there to go mess with them, and I moved back to Queens. So we were, you know, bi-coastal at the time.
So at what point do you end up going to Bad Boy to start out as the intern?
I was never really an intern, but I did intern things. So what happened was I would just go meet Puffy and them in Manhattan after work. Remember, I had a job, and my mother wouldn't let me live in the basement without putting money on the table every Friday. So I couldn't go live. You know, you heard the stories of people living with him in his house and all that crazy shit. I couldn't do all that. So I would meet them after work at different studios. You know, wherever they were at, I'd find out, call Harv or Mark Pitts, and they would let me know, and I'd just come chill. And then me being who I am and seeing my boy, who I was throwing parties with just 3 or 4 years ago at Howard University, is now doing his thing. Where I'm from, we assist, we help out. So I would just do whatever he, you know, if something needed to be done and nobody was there to do it, I'd do it. I'm sitting around here doing nothing, smoking weed. I'll help you, bro. And he saw that hustle and he liked it because he never solicited me and asked me to do anything for him. Matter of fact, the one time that I did come to him and say, hey, you know, I could easily leave that job in Brooklyn if you need. I was working at Mega Evans College. If you need me, he's like, nah, you know. So he didn't really actually want me to come work for him for some reason, which probably in his mind he had a future thought. So I would just help out, you know what I mean? And he saw that hustle in me. So that's all it really was. I never really was officially an intern for Bad Boy at all. But I did intern. I would carry a picket sign if they needed it. If he needed somebody to drive the car, do something while I was in the studio with him, I'd do that. Fuck it. Like, you know.
So you did it out of love.
No ego like that.
You did it out of love for what you guys had developed as a brotherhood.
Yeah. And look what he's doing. It's like, wow, like, I'm allowed to be around this. Let me just shut up and take notes. You know what I'm saying? Relax and take notes.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean?